Welcome back to the King and Pawn ending series. All right, here, what we have here is material equality, but the key features is both sides has a passed pawn, black one in the middle and white way on the outside. So this is all about how the outside passed pawn wins the game for you. I'm going to be talking a lot more about king and pawn endings and other endings, so hit subscribe because you need to learn endings. Never mind with your latest opening nonsense. Okay, so it's white's turn. This guy here, he's going to rip up the board and he's going to just suck the black king over like a vacuum. And then white'll just, target for termination and then he'll queen some of his stuff. Okay, let's show that in actual practice though. All right. They're off. Okay, so that pawn's on a tear, and black's like, well, okay. And white just keeps ripping it. Oh, I see. So now what does black do? If he goes after here, he'll drop that guy. He doesn't want to lose that guy, maybe. So, so he comes back, and white's like, okay. So now black has no choice. He has to go after. He's gonna get a queen. Black has to make sure he doesn't get the pawn doesn't get too much of a drop on him, and then white just goes jump. Thank you. That was good. I don't have to have lunch now. So what does black do now? Black's got to go take care of business, and then white goes over here. Black takes there, and white's like, "Hello, how you doing?" So now these guys start panicking, running in terror. White's like, "Okay, I'll just push that guy." Don't when you're the guy winning and stuff in these pawn endings, avoid simplification. Sometimes you simplify too much and it's a draw, but not here. So the king's gonna rip a tear over. You just take. He's running. Go like that. He's coming over. There's no chance in hell here, though. See, look at. He's got no chance. He's ripping over. You get a queen and you win the game. Okay, so let's go back and let's go back to this spot right here. Okay, say black's like, well, I'm not going to go here because I know I got to tear. I'm going to take care of this pawn right now. So he's going to rip and attack it immediately. Well, white does the same thing. Bang. Black takes care of the pawn, and then white starts his rip. But the king feels a tiny bit closer here, just a tiny bit. He's ripping. So are these pawns going to panic again? Yeah, they should panic because if white blows it and takes here now, black can capture there, and black's getting the queen too, and the game's draw. So at least black's trying something there. But like we talked about, you can just push that. No problem. Here comes black ripping a tear. You take. And if you could go here and do that, but if it makes you feel better, you could just take like that. And your opponent has no more material. That equals a guaranteed draw minimum. But of course, you're absolutely winning here. So that's a quick blurb about the outside pass pawn. Stay tuned for the next video on tricky pawn breaks and how to make your opponent's head explode when you're doing these magical pawn breakthroughs. See you there.